Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of DragonVision here in the Region Tournament. Jim Harris back here with you, joined once again by, as Matt Hagen described her, my partner in crime, Lisa Watson. And, Coach, a disappointing night last night, but for Clinton fans, an opportunity here this evening to kind of erase that taste from last night's defeat by the Lady Dragons and move ahead into this basketball season. We're going to be joined at halftime by Coach Alicia Doherty. Talked to her before the game. So optimistic and upbeat already about next season, and who can blame her? We'll talk more about that. But what an opportunity the Dragons have here at home as district runners-up. Controversy aside, the end result is still the same. You get a game at home and an opportunity to move on into the region semifinals.
Yeah, quite frankly, they didn't get a bad draw. Northview and Clinton Dragons are they're compatible with one another. This is a very winnable ball game for our Dragons tonight. As a matter of fact, I think we may even have a little edge and be a little bit better than Northview. Not a bad draw for them. Not a bad draw for them at all.
Well, on the season, Clinton comes in with an 11-15 overall record. They were the District 4 3A runners-up in the regular season. In the regular season and in the district tournament, losing to Anderson County Tuesday night, 62-61 on the infamous shot that will never be forgotten around these parts. Very clearly,
that in their Facebook pictures from here on out.
Very clearly, the ball was still in the shooter's hands, but that's the last we'll talk about that for at least right now. But the Dragons did get to that championship game with a 67-52 win over Union County in the semifinals. So, and as I was texting with Coach Lockhart earlier today, and I told him, you've stayed on brand this season as far as this team is ready right now for the postseason. Obviously got off to a slow start, 11-15, so there's been some bumps along the way, but this team is playing its best basketball heading into this round.
Yeah, they have come together more as a team toward the end of this season, right at the time you want them to. They did struggle at the beginning of the year trying to figure out their identity, trying to figure out the different rotations and what's the best ones. Had some come back off of injury, shoulder surgery, Tegan, and then your football players who came back from first year had to find their groove. After
a very deep run in the postseason.
Yes, so they had to find their groove, and so that got into early of our season this year.
Our opponent tonight, the Northview Academy Cougars out of Kodak, Tennessee. They are 16-13 on the season. They finished as runners-up in the regular season in District 3A. They finished third at the tournament, losing in the first round to Carter in the semifinals, 67-64. They won the consolation round game, and this one made my eyes pop out a little bit, seeing that this was the next team on our schedule. They beat Seymour 107-72, so this Northview team can get some points on the board.
I started to say they've got some scorers on this team, and they're a good shooting team, and so that right there is going to play a big factor in tonight's game. Who's hot and who's not?
Absolutely. Of course, Clinton can also come in with a little bit of confidence.
Yeah.
This round of the region tournament a year ago on this floor, Clinton pulled out a 59-53 win over this Northview Academy team. Mm-hmm. So that was in last year's region quarterfinal. The Dragons hope that they are able to repeat that later on this evening. Really quick, before we get started here tonight, I want to give a special thank you to all the patrons for tonight's broadcast. They include El Indio Mexican Restaurant, Oak Ridge broadcaster David Clary, once again, friend of the program, Brian Ford, who has also purchased the luxurious box seat to our left. He also contributed to make this broadcast possible. Want to thank the Clinton High School class of 1985 and also Deidre Johnson. Thank you to all of you. We'll mention you a couple more times certainly throughout this broadcast, and we definitely appreciate you guys making this possible. And just real quick, going back to that Tuesday night controversy, Larry Gann and I were talking up here last night before the game, and he was questioning, why not make use of the technology that was there on site maybe get a replay of that, maybe take a second look at that. That should be something I think TSSAA looks at. If they're going to charge the exorbitant fees that they charge broadcasters like myself and Matt Hagen to broadcast these games, I think they should be able to make use of the technology that is available. You know what I mean? It seems like that should be something in the postseason when the stakes are this high that you might be able to go back and look at. Obviously, not all the games are streamed, so there would be some issues with making it uniform, but that was pretty egregious.
Yeah, what I think what would help too at the high school level if TSSAA would vote to get those lights around the backboard. I think that would be, it would be an extra expense for the schools, but I think that in instances like that game that night, I think that would have been something that was very helpful.
It would have been definitive. And, if you really want to go over the top, in my opinion, when the light goes off, it should also shoot fire. Or smoke.
Yeah.
Fire's dangerous.
Yeah, smoke would be good. Orange smoke would be very appropriate.
Earlier today, like I said, I was texting with Coach Chris Lockard. I'm doing my Sal Palantonio impression from NFL Sunday Morning on ESPN. But he says the keys to tonight's game for the Dragons, transition offense, says Clinton needs to get out and run to prevent Northview from getting back and setting up their half-court defense. Best way to do that, crash the glass on both ends. The defensive end obviously can spark transition, and he thinks they can get a little separation, the Dragons, if they can hit the offensive boards at a higher clip than Northview. That's going to be tough, though. Number 45, Richard Bell, is large, and he is going to be a problem tonight. Right now, it is time for our national anthem here on DragonVision.
Our national anthem.
Twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars the rule the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets
God bless America.
And the national anthem performed here before the game, well, on tape. But
Let's get started with
we are getting ready for the introduction to the starting lineups. We'll get to the rest of the coaches' keys after we meet the Northview Academy Cougars.
DJ Thompson.
DJ Thompson is a junior. He gets the start tonight.
Aiden Boyman.
He, too, a junior.
Number 24, Wayne Jackson. Number 35, Jalen Stoltz. And number 45, Richard Bell.
Richard Bell, a man among boys out there. I'm just saying, he's a large human, Lisa Watson.
Yes, he is a beast.
He was the player. He is key number 4. They've got to keep the ball out of his hands in and around the paint. That is going to be a key tonight for the Dragons to have success on the defensive end, according to Coach Lockett. Dragons runners-up in the district tournament.
Number 0, Tegan Olinger. And another guard, number 1, Jeremiah Lee. And a post, number 2, Jacob
So Bollinger, Lee, Dooley, Booker, and Nelson will start it out for the orange and black. They will be clad in their white home uniforms with the orange numerals and black trim. Key number 3, defending the pick and roll, according to Coach Chris Lockard. So a few things to keep an eye on as you watch along with us here on DragonVision. Again, great to have you guys alongside. No place I'd rather be on a Saturday night in February than the Donnie Dome.
Right.
Coach Chris Lockard giving some last-minute instructions to a robust Clinton crowd.
Yeah.
So here we go. It will be Dooley to tip it off against number 24, Blaine Jackson. So no matter where you are, it's time to play a little round ball in the Donnie Dome. And the opening tip will be controlled by Northview. They'll open up moving from your left to your right. Controlling the ball here in the early going, DJ Thompson works it over to Blaine Jackson. Into the post for Bell. Bell, off-balance shot. Good defense inside by Dooley, and the rebound comes off. Here's Bollinger. Bollinger to Nelson, and that's going to be a travel. Nelson, little bit slow with getting that foot set. And so 20 seconds in, first turnover of the game belongs to Northview.
Yeah, the Dragons did a good job doubling down on the big guy when they got it inside, so that forced him to shoot a shot he didn't really have a good position to take.
Around the perimeter, the ball goes to Aiden Boyven. His shot off the mark. Rebound comes off to Bollinger. Bollinger in a hurry up the floor. Right side for Jeremiah Lee. Thought about driving. Kicks it back outside. Here's Nelson for 3. Off the mark. No good. Rebound collected by Thompson. Northview looking to run. Good pass, but picked off by Jeremiah Lee. Nice defense right there by Lee as he just cut across that lane and stole that ball away. Long cross-court pass goes to Nelson. Minute gone by, still scoreless here. Winner goes on to the region semifinals next week, and with a win here tonight and an upset of Anderson County by Seymour up the road, Clinton could be hosting the region tournament this week. Here's Jeremiah Lee for 3!
Broke that guy's ankles a little bit.
James Harden would be proud. Here's DJ Thompson trying to answer with a 3 of his own. No good. LeBron Booker. Dragons coming out like they might have a point to prove. Here's Jeremiah Lee. Lee, his pass up ahead for Booker. Almost stolen away, but LeBron does a great job to recover it, and he's fouled at the midcourt stripe by Aiden Boyven. His first, team's first. Dragons with the early 3-0 advantage on the Jeremiah Lee 3. I was thinking before the game, I think he's going to have a huge impact on the outcome of this game, and I think part of that is going to be, can he play within himself instead of making the spectacular pass?
Exactly.
Can he make the smart pass?
Yeah.
Here is Lee. He controls back up to Nelson. Nelson. Jeremiah thought about that one, and now he kicks it back up top. Nice pass into the post. Nelson to Dooley.
Yeah,
5-0.
Snoozing right there.
Great no-look pass. Sometimes Nelson falls into the no-look, shoulda-looked category, but that was a beautiful dime, and Dooley right there for the deposit on a Saturday night. Here is Thompson. Thompson at the free throw line, kicks it out to Bell. Now works it around to Boyven. Boyven drives inside. Here's Bell. Got his defender in the air, and LeBron Booker fouled him with his back. That'll be the first on LeBron, and the first against the Dragons as a team. 5:30 left to play here in the opening quarter. 5-0 with the Dragons leading. Richard Bell at the free throw line. His first one is good. So Northview will certainly score at least 1 point here tonight in Clinton. 5.5 to play, 5-1 our score. Richard Bell's second free throw is up and good. Big senior. He is a big load in the middle right there. 5-2, 5:27 left to play. Clinton with the lead here in the early going. Booker for Bollinger. That was a no-look, shoulda-looked category pass right there.
It was a good, quick pass.
A great idea. Just a
post off guard.
The quick transition. The post was definitely beat, but the pass just a little bit off the mark. And so now they work it around. Here is Jackson. His jumper is good. Blaine Jackson makes it a 5-4 game. Cougars back within 1. Here's Nelson for Lee. Deep three. That one is off the mark. Rebound to Bell. Maybe? No. It's going to be controlled by Boyven. And Boyven gets it up to Thompson, and the point guard looks to run. Here's a deep three on the way, and starting to feel it. Looks like both teams are starting to get in a little bit of an offensive flow, and Northview has their first lead of the contest at 7-5. There's a bad pass out of the post, up to the in the lane, taken away by Boyven. They're going to get Bollinger for a foul. I don't know about that one.
Who called that?
Looks like it was the official down here on the baseline that made the call. So that's going to be on Bollinger, his first, team's second, excuse me.
Not a bad foul, though. If that really was a foul, smart foul.
Prevents the easy layup.
Save the easy layup. We'll see if he capitalizes on the free throw. He makes the first one.
So Boyven knocks down the first one. So Nelson and Booker sit down. Carson Richardson and Barrett Maddox check in for the first time tonight. Excuse me, Bryson Maddox.
Missed the second one, so that did turn out to be a good foul.
So here's Richardson. Here's Bollinger at the free throw line. Gets it outside. Oh, I thought Lee was going to pull that.
Should have pulled that one, actually.
You saw me tense up. Here is the pass. Lee out of the corner, ill-advised pass.
He walked.
And that's going to be a travel. So a turnover on Blaine Jackson as he finds a way to travel in the open floor with no one around him.
Maybe turnovers will be a key in tonight's game. Both teams, it looks like, is probably even on the turnovers.
A little bit jittery on both sides. Some ill-advised passes. Also some good defense here in the early going. You have a feeling that both teams will be defensively more settled than they will offensively in the early stages. That's how it's looked so far. Here's Thompson up ahead for Jackson on the run out with the lay-in. He's got 4, and it's now 10-5 Northview Academy. Again, their last game out, they put up 107 points in beating Seymour 107-72. So you know that Northview likes to get out and run a little bit. So here is Lee on that right wing.
Lee dribbling to the
gets it to Maddox.
zone.
Yeah, needs to get out of that corner. Here's Richardson. Thought about the three. Now it's inside. Dooley bumped off his spot by Bell. No foul called. Rebound to come off to Jalen Stoltz. Up ahead. Here is Boyven. Boyven lays it up and in. A little shout out to the late Jerry Lewis. Here is Jeremiah. Beautiful step through and a foul. Think that's going to be on Bell. That'll be a good thing.
Yeah. Great move by Jeremiah. He did that little Euro move, and he can get up in the air. So that move definitely drew the foul.
So Jeremiah at the free throw line. 3 points in the game. Coming on the game's first basket. First shot is up and in. So Jeremiah with 4 points here in the early going to make it 12-6. Substitutions come on for Northview Academy as Peyton White checks in along with Hunter Kinsey.
Yeah, that last guy got injured going up for the layup. When he landed pretty hard, I think he hit his elbow. Probably hit it in the right spot.
Funny Bone is an ironic name for that injury. 2:52 left to go. 2:50 left to play now. 12-7 with the ball. Here is Peyton White. Ball deflected away, but Bell controls. Bell, jumper, no good. Blocked from behind by Maddox. And make no mistake about his name, that was Bryson Maddox coming in from behind to reject that one out of bounds. Yes. Great defensive play inside. Caden Eisen is checked in to the game and has already begun annoying Richard Bell. Here's a rebound off the missed shot, and it's going to be Hunter Kinsey putting it up and in. Makes it 14-7. Braylon has checked into the game. Braylon Hayden. Here's Bryson Maddox. Nice dump down to Eisen. Eisen should have gone straight up with that one. You can't put it on the floor in the lane like that. Dragons get a little bit of a break as it will stay on this end of the floor. 2:17 left here in the first quarter. Hagen to key the play in. Bryson Maddox, Tegan Bollinger, Carter Nelson back out there along with LeBron Booker. Richardson, Lee, and Eisen take seats on the bench. Here's Maddox. Beautiful move in the paint. Just couldn't finish it. Rebound off of Northview Academy. I thought that number 5, Peyton White, got a finger on it, and he did. Looks like he may have jammed his finger on that ball. Here is the inbounds pass to Bollinger. To Nelson, working it around. LeBron Booker thought about the 3, and then there's going to be a foul away from the ball. It's going to be on Northview, so the clock will stop with 2:05 left to go, and it's going to be called on Peyton White.
His first, team third.
Team's third. Eisen and Nelson check back in. So for the Dragons now it's Maddox, Nelson, Eisen, Booker, and Bollinger.
It looks like
Here's Nelson from the corner for 3 off the inbounds. Can't get it to go. Eisen outduels Richard Bell for the rebound. Grabs a second one. Tries to go across the baseline to an open Tegan Bollinger, but stepping in front of the pass was Peyton White. Great defensive play there by Northview. 14-7. Into the game now, Ben Pickle. Pickle for Bell. Nice cut to the basket. Blaine Jackson can't get it to go. Dragons may have altered that shot defensively. Here's Booker on the fast break. Fouled from behind. He'll head to the free throw line. First foul of the game will be whistled on Hunter Kinsey. Team's 4th here in the first quarter. 93 seconds left in the first frame.
Foul number 22, Hunter Kinsey. His first, team 4th. Booker to the line for 2.
Booker's first foul shot, in and out, no good. So it remains 14-7.
coming in back in the game, Jeremiah Lee returning in for Bryson Maddox. You know, both teams are getting kind of a slow start, I feel like, on scoring, especially the Dragons. I feel like we've passed up some shots that maybe we should have taken.
Yeah. Couple, and of course the turnovers do not help. Had some really open looks that just got spoiled by quick hands in the passing lane. Here's Bell for 3. That's not fair. A man that big should not be able to shoot that far. 17-8. There's a steal in the open floor. This is going to be blocked away, out of bounds, off of Northview, excuse me.
I think we were very fortunate we got by with one right there.
Hunter Kinsey had the open lane, but a great defensive effort chasing it down from behind. Minute 11 left to play here in the first quarter. Carter Nelson works it over to LeBron Booker. Booker cross court now for Lee. Lee back to Nelson. Nelson. A lot of contact, but apparently, when he came down, hit his head. So the referee calls a timeout. Nelson will come off, and he'll be replaced by Camden Nelson.
Yeah.
We've got a spare. A spare Nelson. Actually, technically now we're down to a half Nelson.
Yes. A fresh Nelson.
There you go. There you go. 17
Freshman Nelson.
17-8 our score. Jeremiah Lee works it over to the recently inserted Camden. Here is Lee in the corner. Booker back up to Jeremiah. 17-8 the score. Nelson thought about the 3. Good pass. Down low for Eisen. Blocked. Great defensive play over there by Blaine Jackson. Rebound kept alive by Bollinger. Here's Booker. 30 seconds left. In the lane. Fall away from just inside the line. It is good.
Great effort, great score.
First field goal of the game for LeBron Booker. 17-10. Sometimes you just need to see a foul shot go in like it did the last couple, 2 trips ago for LeBron to maybe get something going on the offensive end. Gonna need his scoring if they're gonna overcome this talented Northview team. Here's DJ Thompson on the left wing. Outside, 3 on the way, no good. Rebound collected in the paint, and that is how the first quarter will end, with a missed shot by Jalen Stoltz. The Northview Academy Cougars, though, have made the long trip from Sevier County to take a 17-10 lead. I want to give a quick shout-out to somebody I know is watching, Linda Lockard, the coach's mom. Great to have Linda along. So I hope she's having a fantastic Saturday night.
Yes. Linda has always been a fixture here at Clinton High School. You know, how honorable is it to watch your husband coach all those years and then get to watch your son?
Absolutely.
coach right behind him. That's really cool.
And managed to be the sweetest lady in the world.
In the world, yes.
So, hello, Linda. 17-10 our score here. The Clinton Dragons trailing the Northview Academy Cougars by 7. Hey, Matt, how did Damiana Lavelle do? He hasn't gone yet. So, Level has a chance to win the first wrestling title, state championship for the Dragons in school history. So,
shout out to our Dragon wrestling team. Coach McDonald has done a wonderful, wonderful job with that program.
So here we go. Second quarter getting started. Clinton will open up possession, moving from your right to your left. Trailing by 7. Here's Nelson to Booker. Out there with Dooley, Lee, and Bollinger. Starting 5 back on the floor for the Dragons to begin this second quarter. Here is Booker. Booker in the corner. His pass back up top. Good to see Carter Nelson back in the game. There's a no-look pass that's deflected away by Aiden Boyven.
Yes, Northview has went to their 1-3-1 zone defense, and one of the weakest points to the 1-3-1 is that backside. We almost capitalized on that.
Keep an eye on that. Jacob Dooley shaking that right hand. Definitely hurt that finger. Let's see if it affects him on the shot. It does not. Jacob Dooley for 3. And then we have a turnover going the other way.
Yeah.
So it'll be Bollinger to inbound, and the Dragons now down by just 4 with 7:29 left to go in the first half. Here's Bollinger for Lee. Lee, nice move in the paint. Jeremiah Lee with 7 points in the first half, and the Dragons have clawed their way back to within a bucket, 17-15.
Yeah, Jeremiah's getting hot now.
Richard Bell, exactly where they don't want him, with the ball in his hand in the paint. Gets it outside. They work it around to Stoltz. His 3, no good. Rebound going to be grabbed by Jeremiah Lee. No, not a rebound, but he will get, more importantly, a second foul on Richard Bell, the big senior. With his second foul, he's going to check out in favor of Hunter Kinsey. Already has 1 foul. So 17-15, 52 seconds gone by in the second quarter. Coming up at halftime, going to be joined by Coach Alicia Doherty, wrap up the Lady Dragon season, which ended last night here in this building. Dragons looking to continue the basketball program's postseason success, though. Here is Bollinger with a great... What? I did not see the travel there. Maybe Coach Locker not arguing too vehemently, but I didn't see it. 17-15. Unforced error by the Dragons, and it gives the ball back to the Cougars. Thompson.
He's having his words with the referee down there.
It's an older, mellower Chris, because normally that might, in years past, that conversation may have been, shall we say, louder. That is an offensive foul.
Yeah, good defensive play by Richardson there. And what I have found is that guy coaches, and I don't mean to sound bad about this, but they do get by with a little bit more than women coaches do, and I don't know.
Sadly, I've also noticed that trend.
I don't know why that is. I've actually talked to Roger Houck, or my sister has talked to Roger Houck about that, and he said, well, that is something we need to look at.
So here's Bollinger for Jeremiah Lee. Lisa Watson changing the world, 1 referee at a time.
1 referee at a time.
Into the corner for Richardson, now back on the wing for Jeremiah. Richardson pulls, blocked on the outside. Terrific job there defensively. That was touched by a couple of players on its way out of bounds. They say the last one was wearing Northview black. So it'll be Tegan Bollinger to inbound. 6:15 left to go, first half. 17-15, Dragons trail. They can tie or take the lead this trip. Into the backcourt for Jeremiah Lee. Now it's Richardson for Lee. Lee, Richardson for 3, no good. Rebound grabbed inside. Dooley, there's Dooley with the left hand, and we are tied.
Yes, Dooley has the potential to make a huge difference in this game.
He is off to a very hot offensive start, and he has been hitting that offensive glass. Here's a drive to the cup, and they're going to call a foul on the inside. It's going to be on Bollinger. That's his second.
His second, team first.
Team's first here in the second quarter. Bollinger going to stay in the game, it looks like. Nobody at the scorer's table for the Dragons, but Braylon Hayden will check in after this free throw. So, big loss there. Bollinger, a stalwart on the defensive end, as the first foul shot for Blaine Jackson is up and good. He's got 5 points. He and Richard Bell now share the team lead in scoring for Northview, and that breaks the tie, making it 18-17. Second shot en route. Second shot also good. So 6 points now for Jackson. Lead back to 2 for Northview. Here's Booker. Booker, left side for Richardson. Almost lost the handle. Kicks it back up top for Hayden. On the right wing, there's Lee. Back up top to Braylon. Lee works it around to Booker. Booker almost has it knocked away. Quick hands there. Now it's in Richardson's hands. That ball deflected on its way across the court. Hayden tracks it down and then throws it away, almost like he was aiming at that cheerleader in the back row. 19-17. She will fear for her life.
Yeah. The photographer down there got a really good view of that.
I'd like everyone to remember, keep your head on a swivel. There's an unfortunate mistake for Jalen Stoltz, as he just dribbled that one right off the tip of his right foot. So 19-17, Northview with the lead, Clinton with the ball. Hayden, Booker, Lee, Richardson, and Dooley, your 5 on the floor right now for the orange and black. Hayden. Tell you what, every pass is being contested. The longer that a Dragon player holds it, the more hands seem to get in the way. Here is Lee. Lee looking to drive in the corner. Booker for 3. Can't get it. Rebound tipped around. Too many Dragons in the area at that time. I believe Richardson tipped that away from Dooley, and it ends up in the Cougars' hands. So back up the other way comes Stoltz. Stoltz gives it up now for Blaine Jackson. Here's a drive, and there's a shot put in by Peyton White, the sophomore, with his first bucket of the game, and the Cougars extend their lead to 4.
I don't know that I wouldn't have called that an offensive foul right there, but
certainly the crowd on that end of the court agreed with you. Here is Hayden, his pass deflected, now it's outside. Jeremiah Lee thought about that deep 3. He pulls it back out with a bigger defender in his face. Here's Hayden with 4 minutes left. Timeout taken by Coach Lockhart. He just saw something. You can just tell the way he called that timeout, the way he wants his guys over there, he just saw something in the Northview defense that he wants to try and exploit. Trying to cut into this 4-point deficit. 4 minutes left to go, second quarter.
Yeah, Chris is going to be telling these guys, to beat us on, you have got to move the ball. You've got to make that defense move from one side of the court to the other. So quick ball movement right here. And then on that ball movement, as the ball is in motion, that's when it opens up lanes to penetrate gaps. So that's exactly what Chris is telling his boys right here too. And he sees something that's open, and he's going to draw it up. Plus, it was a chance to get Bryson Maddox in the game.
Yes. So Maddox back in the game. So Maddox, Hayden, Booker, Lee, and Dooley, your 5 on the floor. Jacob Dooley really has come on really strong in the second half of this season. Here's Maddox.
Now, coming out of that timeout, they changed their defense to a 2-3.
Yep. So into that 2-3 zone. How much does that flip in the digits make a difference when you're out there trying to read a defense? Or in the mechanics of how everything works? Booker!
It'll change up your offensive set, whether you have a 2-guard front or a 1-guard front. So
there's a spin steal, LeBron Booker. Booker with a big play on the offensive end, a big play on the defensive end. There's a reach-in foul. That's going to be called on Peyton White. I'm not going to argue with any call that goes the Dragons' way.
Number 24 hacking on that play.
Oh, it's 24, so that is Blaine Jackson's first.
Number 24 is who they gave that to. Yeah.
Thought that was going to be on White. But 21-19, Jeremiah Lee. Dragons with another chance to tie or take the lead. Here's Maddox. Maddox fires it down low on the baseline. Dooley, little pull-up, won't go. Rebound grab by Lee inside. And they're going to call a travel on that?
Well, he caught it in the air after that guy blocked it, and then he landed.
That's a tough one right there. That was a great effort by Jeremiah Lee.
I would have called that a jump ball, I feel like, but I don't know.
His hand was on it. That's what I thought. That I was thinking jump ball, if anything.
But,
So-
you know,
Here's Jackson, deep three on the way off the bank, no good. Rebound grab by Hagen. Hagen does a really nice job to avoid stepping out of bounds. He breathes a big sigh of relief, as do the Dragon coaches. Hagen with the ball up top. 2:40 left to play, first half. Hagen almost mishandles the pass, but able to regather. Here's Maddox to Hagen.
I feel like our offense is really far out. I don't know if this zone is pushing us out or we're just choosing that.
Here's a block on the inside, and that's going to go out of bounds, and it'll stay with Clinton.
Yes.
So 21-19. Nelson will check into the game, and Hayden checks out. So starting five back on the floor again for the Dragons. Anderson County, by the way, beating Seymour right now, 33-14 second quarter. Here is great play by Bryson Maddox, and Bryson on the board for the first time tonight to make it 21-21. Here's a runner in the lane from Peyton White to answer. He's a promising looking sophomore. 23-21. Here's Nelson. Nelson into the front court. Right side, Lee for three, off the mark, no good. Rebound grabbed inside by Dooley, goes back up strong, it's blocked, grabs his own miss, it's blocked again on the inside. Such length in there for Northview. On the other end, laying it up and in is Ben Pickle. The sophomore makes it a 4-point lead once again for Northview. Here's Booker, across the way for Maddox. Maddox down low on the baseline. That is going to be Dooley with the offensive foul, and that should be a technical on Dooley. And I think they got the offensive foul on Dooley.
They called a technical on him too.
Did they?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it looked to me like he threw the ball at the player.
He did.
And it looked like he hit him right in the stomach, too.
Yeah, he did.
So Dooley with a mistake right there.
He threw the ball at the other player.
25-21, 4 free throws coming up now for Northview and possession. So 2 for the personal. Actually, no, it'll be 2 for the technical, as it was an offensive foul. So 2 for the technical, and then possession for Northview. First foul shot, no good by Pickle. 96 seconds left. Shot is no good, so neither shot good. Ison will check in, Dooley will check out. He's got 2 personals now with that offensive foul and the tech. So 96 seconds left to go here in this first half. Northview Academy with the ball. Stoltz inbounds it to Thompson.
That's unfortunate because they really do need Dooley out there on the court.
He has played so well tonight.
Yes. And to make a frustration move like that, it just hurts your team. So I feel like...
and there's a 3 from number 22, Mr. Kinsey. He's got 5 points, and that makes it 28-21.
Delay game block.
It's a delay of game warning right there.
So
you got to let the ball alone when it goes through the hoop.
So here's Nelson. Bringing the ball into the front court. Dragons trying to cut into the 7-point deficit. 70 seconds left to go here in the first half. Booker cross court for Nelson. Nelson in the paint, down low, good find. Nelson with the dime, Ison with the deposit.
Yes, good fundamental pass right there by Carter Nelson.
Here's Thompson on the right wing. He tries to dump it down low. That pass knocked away from behind by Jeremiah Lee, but they're going to get Lee with his first personal of the game.
Yeah.
So 47.9 seconds left. 4th foul against Clinton here in the quarter. Thompson to inbound. And he's going to throw that one into the backcourt. Lucky break there for Northview. Here's Stoltz, pulls up for 3, can't get it to go. Rebound, knocked out of bounds. Ooh, I thought that was out of bounds off a Northview hand, but they say it was Clinton. So Northview, in the person of DJ Thompson, will inbound underneath the basket to our right.
I feel like we're fortunate they didn't call a foul over the back right there. So
In the pass. Oh, Hagen with the denial. Here comes Booker back the other way, looking to pay it off, and he is fouled. Oh, they're going to call a travel. Oh, my word. Looked for all the world like he had been fouled, but they say he took steps. 30 seconds left, first half. Back and forth we go here inside the Don W. Locker Gymnasium. 20 seconds to play. DJ Thompson picked up out front by Jeremiah Lee. Wraps it into the post for Stoltz. Stoltz working against Booker. Fall away, good. Nice touch on that one by Stoltz. He's got 5. 30-23. Nelson, 4-3. Can't get it to go. Booker with the rebound and the follow. It won't go. 2 seconds from half court. The 3 is no good. We head to the break. 30-23, the Clinton Dragons trail the Northview Academy Cougars here inside Clinton High School. Wow, what a first half. Tell you what, if you like questionable officiating, come to the District 3 or District 4 and the Region 2 tournaments. Some interesting calls going both ways in this game, but at halftime, it is Northview Academy with the 7-point advantage. Hey, Lisa, if you don't mind, give Matt the headphones. I want to see if we can get an update from the state wrestling tournament from Mr. Hagen. That's all right, no, because you know information I don't. Please give him the... Yes, thank you. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Jim.
First of all, I want to once again thank you for the opportunity DragonVision has afforded me to continue doing the one thing in the world I enjoy doing more than anything else. So thank you very much for that. Second of all, I know that Damian Lavelle is going for the state championship here in just a little bit. Match apparently a little bit delayed. Maybe we were thinking 6:30 Central Time.
Yeah, 6:30 Eastern Time is when the final round started. He's actually going to be up in about 3 minutes.
Gotcha. So we'll let you get back to that. I know there were other wrestlers there that didn't quite medal, but came really close. Clinton has had a really strong showing at this year's state tournament.
We have had a really strong showing all season long. In the district tournament, they had 5. They had the coaches get the coaches award, but we had Riley Silk finish 10th, knocked down the second round today. We had Dalton Kendall, Justice Snyder, and Hayden Harrell knocked down the consolation third round. Harrell and Snyder finished 7th, and Dalton Kendall finished 8th overall based on seedings. Now we have to wait for about 3 minutes, and we'll see Booby trying to go for... He already has the highest medal in school history just by finishing above 5th. We'll see if he gets gold or silver.
Very good. Thank you, Matt. I know you'll keep us up to date. Coach Alicia Doherty, kind enough to join us here in just a moment. Our score here at halftime again, Northview 30, Clinton 23. Coach, first of all, thanks for coming up and joining me here. A tough way for the season to end last night, but I just want to tell you, I hit it really well because I'm a professional. But when you and I were talking when I got here tonight, you were talking about how you don't have anybody leaving, and the way you said it, I got some goosebumps. I got to tell you, excitement very high despite last night's disappointment.
Yeah, we knew going in, Fulton was probably one of the more athletic teams that we would face all year long, and very similar to that competition that we faced down in Tampa. And here recently we've had some girls sick and some girls hurt, and so, we practiced against the JV boys several times. We wanted to mimic their length. They were all taller than us, and our main goals going in is we have to box out. If we don't box out, we ain't got a chance.
And that has not happened this season where we've been outsized across the board.
We were outsized at every position but one, I feel like. And that was probably Josie at a guard position. But I just thought that the girls, again, we scrimmaged the boys and we really worked on boxing out. We really worked on trying to take care of the ball. I told Camden Nelson, I said, you put all kinds of pressure on Addie. You get up all over her, try to steal the ball every time. And I thought for the most part, we handled the ball well. Yeah. But not all 5 on the court, and so I think we were scared at some positions in the first half, which really hurt us. We gave up some turnovers that resulted in some wide open layups on the other end, and we got in foul trouble early and had to sit Lane and Addie, and that's tough.
That's huge. I
tough.
thought that was, especially when Laney went down. When Addie came back, when she came out of that locker room, it was like she was shot out of a cannon because she really kind of willed you guys back into that game in the third quarter.
Well, and I in hindsight, I was talking to the coaches. I should have gone 1-3-1 probably in the second quarter, which is what we played the second half, which is what essentially stopped them. But I was scared we were going to lose Sandy, and then Sandy went out. That was my time to do it.
Yeah.
And at the same time, number 4 is a good shooter, and I was trying to play it safe because we were already in foul trouble. But it is what it is. I thought that the girls, I thought they fought hard in the second half, and that's the kind of fight we got to have for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
And we continually talk about that. And I'm hoping that, these girls have some unfinished business. I'm hoping that, next year, we've talked about all year long, that we don't really have our backs against the wall. Like, there's always a next season or a next game. And, I told Bailey and Sydney and Allie, I said, you're going to step into something next year that's going to feel very uncomfortable. Your heart's going to beat the last time that you get to play AC. Your heart's going to beat the last time you get to play Oak Ridge, or the last time you get to wear that jersey on this court for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And I said, and that's when you're going to realize, man, our backs are against the wall. And I said, and you're going to want those teammates behind you to play as hard as possible for you, because in turn, when they're seniors, they're going to want the girls underneath them. But, I told the girls ultimately last night, out of 14 years of coaching high school softball and basketball, I've never had a season where the last game of the year we're not hugging our seniors and telling them bye and thank you for what you've done. I said, guys, we're not telling nobody bye.
Yeah.
Like, we all coming back.
We're going to be saying hello, too.
Right, and I said, and as soon as spring break is, we're going to do our individual meetings the next couple of weeks during Flex. Let them chill, do their homework, relax. God knows they need to rest.
It's been, it was a phenomenal season and so much fun to watch this team continue to grow. And I know that, obviously last night stung a lot, but man, the future is so very bright. And you've got, first of all, Josie Moody looks like she's, getting up and down the stairs just fine. Rolled her ankle last night, but
she's okay. It's a little tender and a little soft on a spot, but she's okay. Addie had an incident where she's been having some passing out moments, and we're not really sure what's wrong.
I was very, when you did not come up last night, I totally understood, simply because of the fact I don't like seeing players have to be carried into the locker room.
Well, in the fourth quarter, I could tell her breathing was different. I kept asking her, are you okay? Are you okay? And she'd already had another incident earlier this week that nobody knew about.
Oh, wow.
So it's been tough. But these girls, they're, you look at Bailey and Sid and Allie, that junior class who have basically started and played a ton of minutes since they were freshmen.
Yeah.
And then you've got, that sophomore class, the girls, the majority of the girls that get the playing time are Lainey, Josie, and Addie, but daggum, Kylie, Kinsley, their improvement from last year to this year is incredible. And then you've got those freshmen. You got Jaylee.
Jaylee was so awesome last night. She got thrown in, I thought, an impossible situation for a freshman. There were a couple of little hiccups when she got into traffic in the lane a couple of times, but aside from that, ice water in that young lady's veins.
Well, and on two things with Jaylee. Number one is when we weren't scrimmaging the boys the last couple of days, she was my Sammy at practice, and I was like, Jay, baby, I need you to shoot them as deep as possible.
Yeah.
You run around, you get to the rim. She hit 3 deep, probably behind that brown line. And I was like, dang, Jay, you're taking this role pretty seriously. And so she was like, Coach, I don't know. And then she hit that one last night. It's just funny because that's what I've been having her shoot all week.
Paid off.
Right? So Jaylee, it's so hard. That's what I keep telling those freshmen. Because, last year, Topanga and Jaylee and Abby kind of ran that 8th grade team.
Yeah.
And it's so hard stepping inside of a program that has a lot of athletic ability and skill, and your role has changed.
Yeah.
We've talked about that a lot. And so one of the things we've been working with Jay is stop getting so deep in the paint in the varsity games. But it's a habit because, last year she was trying to get to the free throw line.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand. It's just hard to know that your roles change. But, I talked to her last night after the game, and she said, Coach, I don't know, after 8th grade, I didn't think I wanted to play again. I was just kind of over it. And she was like, and I fell back in love with the game this year. She was like, man, I love high school ball. I love our team. I love our coaches. So it's just refreshing to hear a kid like Jay, who didn't get a lot of minutes this year, but man, her future is so promising.
I'll tell you what, down the stretch, the minutes she did get seemed to matter. When she came in, there was never an appreciable drop-off of anything.
Well, and she's a kid that if I need Addie to get a 30-second break at the end of the corner to not pick up another foul, she goes in and she does her job. She doesn't say a word about it when I pull her back out.
Yeah.
Like, she's a very coachable kid.
How big is it as you continue to develop all these young players? Now you've got, formerly, we've been thinking about these young ladies as, youngsters for a long time. They're heading into their senior season. Now you've got 3 of those players. How have the players that, started as freshmen and sophomores, how much easier is it for them to talk about, your role's going to change, this is going to happen from coming to middle school to high school? Because, like you said, that transition's tough, but now you've got a couple of classes that have gone through that.
I don't know if these sophomores and these juniors can really talk to these freshmen about that, because they stepped in and started right off the bat. You know what I mean? Like, their role honestly didn't change too much. Now, Bailey and Sydney and Allie's changed just because we had Sarah still that senior year. But other than that, I mean, these girls have been, and after the game last night, Bailey was extremely upset and emotional, and I'm like, baby, we got one more ride together. Let's make it count. And so when we come back from spring break, myself, the basketball girls, and Lori's volleyball team, we're starting a weightlifting program up at the field house there in Flex Buckle. We're going to get back into, in the thick of things. I've got girls in golf. I've got girls in volleyball. I've got girls that are in track. Addie's going to do track this year.
Oh, wow.
And, Kinsley's in track. And so a lot of girls doing other things, which I highly encourage.
Every coach I know does.
As a one-sport athlete, it's so hard because there's that burnout, or there's that, like you just lost your last basketball game, and now 2 weeks later you're going to play AAU basketball, and it's like, sometimes you just need a break of something different. Use some different muscles.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just have some fun. If it's not your main sport, just go out there and do something. But I'm excited to get out there and watch some tennis. I didn't know you're not allowed to cheer in tennis, and I guess Megan Ellis informed me that. She was like, I got in trouble for cheering Josie on, and I was like, well,
that's why you have to clap like this, very politely, like a golf clap.
I haven't been around tennis much. My mom and dad played, but anyways, I'm excited for the future. It's definitely a letdown to have so much hope and goals set forward, and we didn't achieve them. And we talked about that, guys. Like, remember this feeling next year of how heartbroken you are right now. When in hindsight, we should be moving on.
Yeah.
And so, and again, I know we're out of time, but Northview girls are losing everything they've got. Seymour, they're losing the majority of theirs. Anderson County just lost theirs. That Fulton team, their main 3 girls, they're all graduated. Calk County will be a wrecking. I mean, they'll be a force to reckon with next year. Their best players are freshmen. Who am I forgetting on that other side? I don't know. But anyways, future's bright next year. The future's bright the year after. The future's bright the year after. I'm just excited to be around this Lady Dragon program.
Well, so are we. It has been a pleasure to watch this team continue to grow. Such exciting basketball. Looking forward to next year. Thank you so much, Alicia.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, that is Alicia Dory, head coach of your Clinton Lady Dragons, as we are back underway here. And the opening possession of the second half turned over by Northview. So here is Tegan Bollinger into the front court. Into the corner now, Maddox. Here's a steal. Turnovers coming back the other way. Jackson at the other end, lays it up, won't go. Rebound going to be grabbed underneath by Tegan Bollinger. Bollinger looking to push. Bollinger, pull-up jumper in the lane, won't go. Rebound kept alive by Booker outside the Lee. 7:18 to play. Jeremiah squares up and passes across the way. Tegan Bollinger. Damian Lavelle just won the state wrestling title at 190 pounds. 170, excuse me. Damian Lavelle, Booby, is the state wrestling champion at 170 pounds, the first in Clinton High School history. Congratulations to Damian. So here is Booker.
I'm going to try to get that news down to our announcer.
I believe that Amanda Powers is doing that right now. Here is Jeremiah Lee. Gets it in down along the baseline for Maddox. Now here's Lee on the right wing. 6:52 to go. Maddox dumps it down. Dooley can't get it to go. Rebound. Maddox won't fall. And it comes off the glass to Blaine Jackson. 7-point advantage for Northview. 30-23. 6:40 to play third quarter.
Yeah.
Here is the drive. Blaine Jackson, what a move to get past Jeremiah Lee. Blaine Jackson now with 8 points. It's 32-23, 9-point advantage now for the Cougars. Deep three on the way from Lee. Splash! He knocks it down. He's got 10. Lead down to 6. 6:10 to play. There's a pass thrown away. DJ Thompson. Stoltz tracks it down in the corner, and the rebound comes off to Maddox. Maddox 1-on-2, goes up, can't get it to go. Didn't have the numbers, and a foul will be whistled against Clinton on the rebound. Looks like Booker, judging by his reaction. No, it's going to be on Dooley, his third. That's a big moment in the game. Nelson will check in. And
I was
let's
hoping
see.
halftime would get him to rethink and regroup and get back in the game.
32-26.
He'll be back. Don't worry. Dooley will be back. He's a fighter.
3 fouls now. He's on the bench. Here's a three from Boyven. In and out, no good. Rebound to be collected inside by Maddox. Outlet pass for Bollinger. Looking to run. Doesn't have the numbers. Drives in anyway and is called for the offensive foul. It's a good call. He put the shoulder down. That would have been legal in hockey. I was watching hockey earlier this afternoon. That was a good check.
Yeah, that was a good call.
Third on
Hagen
Bollinger.
created that contact a little bit, lowered that shoulder. Anytime you lower that shoulder, they're gonna call you on it.
So here is Thompson, picks up his dribble, flashes over to Stoltz.
Yeah.
Here's Boyven, top of the circle. Thompson, nice move to separate from the defenders, lost the handle on the way up. Stoltz tracks it down with a hand in his face, gets it over Bryson Maddox.
That was a good move.
Stoltz with 7 points now.
Called a blocking foul
So blocking foul.
on number 3.
It's going to be on Thompson. That's his first, team's first here in the quarter.
Jeremiah Lee to the line for 2.
I'm very excited for our Dragon wrestling team. That's probably a first in the history of our program here at Clinton High School. We've had some that come close and made it to state, but not won it. So that is exciting news. Congratulations to Coach McDonald and
Damian Lavelle. He won 3-1 in overtime on a takedown.
Woo, yay.
34-27 as Lee gets 1 out of 2. He's got 11 points in the game. It's with 4:57 remaining here in the third quarter. Great conversation with Coach Alicia Doherty. Despite last night's loss, obviously, optimism runs high as Richard Bell, top of the key, he checks back in after sitting the back end of the second quarter with 2 fouls. Nelson, long pass up top. Now it's Camden Nelson. That pass was kind of doomed from the beginning. It's going to stay with Clinton, though, as Thompson was out of bounds when he took possession of that ball. Dooley checks back in. So, they wanted to check him back in, but he's not going to be allowed back in just yet. Coach Locker displeased with that decision. And now it's Camden Nelson with the ball up top. Works it around on the left side for Booker. Booker to Nelson. Around the horn to Lee. Right wing on the dribble. Gets it into Bryson Maddox. Maddox with the bank. And it's 36-29. Back to a 7-point lead. There's a travel in the open floor. Blaine Jackson. I have not seen so many travels on fast break opportunities or just on the run as I have tonight. 36-29. Looks like Booker is checking out now, and it will be Dooley to inbound this ball. Camden Nelson, Jeremiah Lee, Bryson Maddox, and Carter Nelson on the floor. Halfway through third quarter, Jeremiah Lee for a deep 3! 14 points in the game for Jeremiah, and it's a 4-point advantage now for Northview, 36-32. 3:50 to play. Thompson gets it to Bell out high. Now for Stoltz on the wing for Thompson. Back to Boyven, poked away by Nelson. Kept alive, and it's going to be turned over. Lee up ahead for Maddox. For the flush! Bryson Maddox on the dunk! 36-34, this crowd is energized. Timeout taken by Northview coach Corey Harkleroad. What a magnificent stretch of basketball to begin this third quarter for Clinton. Woo!
Great defensive steal there at top, applying pressure to that point guard, and quick heads-up play to get the dunk for Bryson Maddox.
So 3:29 left to go in the third quarter. Clinton trailed 30-23 at the break. They trail by 2 right now.
You know, the Dragons have got to have a bad taste in their mouth about the game and the district championship. So this right here should be payback time for,
That's what I was when I was texting with Coach Lockard earlier today. I was asking her, "Are you worried about any lingering effects?" And he said, he admitted, they feel like it was stolen from them, and they took it really hard. Ball knocked away on the inbounds pass. Camden Nelson with getting his hand into those passing lanes, deflects that one into the stands. But he said he's going to try and use it for motivation. I'd say so far, so good.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, there's in the open floor, Richard Bell. So the Dragons fall asleep on defense and somehow lose the biggest man in the room. Here is Lee. Lee up top. Works it around for Nelson. Cross court now for Carter Nelson. Not sure who that pass was intended for, and neither were either of the two Dragons in the vicinity. Maddox and Dooley both just kind of watched that one sail out of bounds. So it remains a 4-point game, 3:12 to play, third quarter, 38-34, Northview with the lead and the basketball. Aiden Boyven comes into the front court. Sorry, I'm going to do that all night long. I can't help myself. So here is Boyven. I'll say it like a normal adult. Now it's Stoltz working it around to Boyven. Boyven on the right wing. DJ Thompson got free off a screen and knocks down the 3. His first basket of the night. Makes it 41-34. Northview has fended off every Clinton challenge to this point. Here's Carter Nelson, ball stripped away. Good defense there by Northview. Long pass up ahead, Stoltz to Jackson, to Bell. How is there no travel there? Richard Bell lays it up and in. He's got 10. Dragon fans incensed. 9-point advantage. Clinton has gotten to within 2 a couple of times, but every time they do, Northview with a little bit of an answer, and here is the foul on Aiden Boyven. He's protesting even though he clearly ran into him. Aiden Boyven, his third. Team second here in this third period. 2:17 left to play, 43-34. Clinton trailing by 9 with the ball. Maddox inbounds it to Carter Nelson. Nelson drives through the paint. He's going to drive all the way to the free throw line. So fouled on the shot.
Foul number 3, DJ Thompson.
DJ Thompson, his second in pretty rapid succession.
To the line for 2.
Nelson at the line to shoot a pair. Scoreless thus far in the game. Nelson's first foul shot short. Dragons need to take advantage of these opportunities to get some points on the board with the clock stopped. Coach Lockard trying to make substitutions. Not sure why they were not allowed to there. It's because the shooter was one of those substitutions. Carter Nelson hits 1 out of 2, and it's 43-35.
They didn't let him on. I don't know if they didn't get up to the table in time.
It seemed like they were there plenty early.
Or what?
That is a 5-second call right there.
Yes. Good defense.
Tremendous defense on the denial of the inbounds play for the Dragons. So nice job there defensively. And it'll be Maddox to key the play in. 2:14 to play, third quarter. Dragons down by 8, trying to cut into that lead. Here's Nelson back in the corner for Maddox. Maddox drives, baseline, goes up through contact, can't get it. Booker steals the rebound away from Bell, can't get the follow to go. There's Maddox to Bell on the rebound, and then we're going to have a foul whistled against Clinton. They're going to get Camden Nelson on that one.
Number 22, Camden Nelson.
Somebody in the stand said, it's not like he did it on purpose.
2:02 left to play, yeah. Referees, I don't think, take intent into account. Here is DJ Thompson for the inbound pass, knocked away. Bryson Maddox. Dragons staying in this game thanks to their defense. They've had spurts on the offensive end, but just can't quite get over the hump. Down by 8 right now, under 2 to play, third quarter. Here's Bell with it out front. He can shoot from out there, so Booker might not want to give him too much padding. Now it's Thompson. Thompson picked up by Lee near the logo. Now it's Blaine Jackson. Dumped down inside for Bell. Bell turns around, can't get it to go. Rebound snatched away from behind. Crowd wants a foul on that one, but that just looked like a really good rebound by Hunter Kinsey, who puts it back up and in to make it 45-35. First double-digit lead in quite a while. Here's Lee, throws up the shot. It's going to be a foul on the floor anyway. So the foul will be whistled on Kinsey, his second, team's fourth here in the period. 86 seconds left, Maddox to inbound. 10-point lead for Northview here at Clinton. Here is Jeremiah Lee. The drive to the cup won't go. Rebound Booker. Booker off the window and in and one. LeBron Booker has been quiet until now. He had 5 points in the first half.
Number 1.
That'll be Ben Pickle, his first, team's fifth. From here on out, Clinton will be shooting foul shots this period. 45-37. Booker trying to cap the three-point play. And cannot. Rebound, though, grabbed by Maddox. Maddox back to Booker. Booker drives inside, lost the handle, tried to deflect it out on the corner to Camden Nelson, but it was picked up there by DJ Thompson. Here comes Thompson into the front court for Jackson. Blaine Jackson will hold up, waiting for his point guard to come free. He doesn't, so he hands it off to Kinsey. Now Kinsey gets it into the hands of Thompson. DJ Thompson, the junior, handling out front, picked up there by Camden Nelson. Ball knocked out of his hands, but Ben Pickle for three, no good. Rebound, grabbed inside by Bell. Can't get it to go, but he will get it to go on the left-handed layup, and the foul on Bryson Maddox. His first, and it'll be Bell at the line to try and complete the old-fashioned three-point play. He now has 13 points in the game, 8 here in the quarter. 47-37, 42.6 seconds to play in this third quarter.
That was a very athletic move by their big guy.
He's deceptively, I'm just going to go ahead and say he does not look like he should be that agile, but he is.
Looks like he'd be a linebacker.
Oh no, I think he looks like he'd be a lineman. Here is the miss on the inside. Rebound by Booker. He can't get it to go. Keeps it alive, though, and now it's Jeremiah Lee for three. Man, did Clinton need that. He's got 10 in the quarter, 17 for the game.
That's Jeremiah's spot, I'm just telling you, right there.
Almost got his hand on that pass, too, up ahead. Underneath, it's going to be Bell, and they're going to call a blocking foul before the shot. So they're going to say it's not a shooting foul on Booker, but they're going to get a foul on Booker. The fans in front of us clearly not happy with that call, but as it is, it's not a shooting foul. So it's going to be, oh no, it is. That was foul number 5. So 2 shots coming up. That was foul number 5 here in the quarter. So 2 shots at the line now for Richard Bell. 9 points in the quarter, 14 for the game for the big fella from Kodak. First shot, good.
He has great rotation on his shot.
He has great touch. He's just a really good basketball player.
Good touch right there.
Good touch from the line. I don't think he's missed tonight from this drive. In fact, I think he's 4 out of 4. I tried. I try to exercise what little influence I have in the course of the game.
taking big man out to get him an extra 12-second rest, or he might have got hurt right there on that. He landed on his hip.
Here's
Jeremiah.
a deep three for Jeremiah. That was too deep and too fast in the possession, I think. Here is Thompson for Stoltz from midcourt. And that time he puts his own cheerleaders in jeopardy. So at the end of 3 quarters of play, the Clinton Dragons down by 10, work to do if they want to keep their season alive here. I believe they're about to make the announcement here in the gym of Damien's.
Breaking news from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Damien Lavelle, state champion.
165. My apologies. I gave you guys the wrong weight earlier. Twice I've done that. But it's like I've always said, I'm a terrible judge of weight. I can't do it, and I won't.
I, for one, am thankful that you are a terrible judge of weight.
Well, I've also learned a lot about...
Women love that about you.
They do. You know what? They do. If they don't love it, they certainly at least appreciate it.
Right.
So 50-40. Clinton, just again, they've gotten to within 2 on a couple of occasions here.
The second half, they've picked up their defensive pressure. I think that's something that they've needed to do this second half. This quarter is their quarter. They've got to continue that defensive pressure, capitalize on some. They've had some 5-second calls. We've got to capitalize on those defensive plays. You know,
got to hit the free throws too.
Yes, and got to hit our free throws. Yes, sir.
Here's Lee to Maddox. Out there with Bollinger, Dooley, and Richardson. So on the baseline, here's Dooley in the paint. Yeah. Nice feed from Tegan Bollinger. Jacob Dooley with his first basket of the second half. He's got 9 points in the game. It's back to an 8-point advantage. Long pass across the baseline. That's going to come out front now to Jalen Stoltz. Stoltz, another guy I'm looking at that is deceptively athletic. Just looks like he'd be a big guy to clog the middle, but he's got some good moves and good range from the outside. They look for him to shoot it from the outside. So here is Bell trying to go behind the back. A little too fancy, almost lost the possession completely. Now it's Aiden Boyven with it. Dragons need to get up and force the Northview Academy Cougars to do something.
A defensive steal right here. Let's see if we can.
There's a double dribble. Carson Richardson a little indecision at midcourt as to which way he wanted to go with that ball, and so they called the double dribble there.
That's the way it was in our championship game with AC. We would get a steal and then turn it over, get another steal and turn it over. It's like we could not capitalize and make those big plays when we needed to.
Here's White on the baseline, left side. Oh, nice turnaround right there from Jalen Stoltz. He's just a sophomore. He's going to be a problem for a couple more years. 52-42. Dragons again trail by 10. Under 7 to play now. Here is Maddox. Maddox underneath for Dooley off the window and in. Jacob Dooley with 11.
Yeah,
52-44.
Keep his head on this last 6 minutes of the game.
Playing with 3 fouls. He and Bollinger both out there with 3 fouls. Here's Stoltz. Stoltz for Boyven. Now to Bell. Bell gives it up for White. White. Guarded there by Bryson Maddox. Gets a screen. And now comes out near midcourt. The clock is Northview's friend right now.
Yeah,
here's a pass to Stoltz. A lot of contact there in the lane, but nothing doing as far as a foul is concerned.
That guy's hurt.
So Peyton White, he comes off. So I'm not sure what happened to White, but he is in a little discomfort over there. 5:54 left to play. Ball inbounded to Richard Bell. He hands it off now to DJ Thompson. Jeremiah and Richard looked like they were having a little moment there. Boyven across the way to Thompson. Now Lee, free to pick up. And there's an offensive foul. Richard Bell, great job. Jeremiah Lee just over there acting as the fly in Bell's ointment. 52-44, his third, team's first here in the fourth quarter. So here's Lee into the front court. Crunch time now for the Dragons as we're under 5.5 to play. Maddox for Lee. Back over to Maddox. Bryson in the paint. Bollinger floater goes. Tegan Bollinger's first points of the game come in an opportune time. It cuts the deficit to 6. 52-46. 5:10 left to play.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. I don't know. Northview seems to.
Ooh, foul over the back on Bryson Maddox. Again, looked like a good call. I'm supposed to be a homer, but when a foul's committed, you got to call it.
Northview kind of working this clock a little bit early for that, I think, but you know, you got to milk it, milk the clock.
There's a. I don't know how you lose that guy. Richard Bell.
They screened him up here, and nobody switched.
And see, that's why you're up here, Coach, to tell me how they lose him. So here's Bollinger, that floater, and Tegan Bollinger starting to feel it here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
54-48, lead down to 6 for Northview. 4:40 now as they cross the timeline. It is Aiden Boyven controlling right now for the Cougars. Boyven. Guarded by Bollinger. Boyven almost loses the dribble. Able to regather the possession, saves it, gets it over to Bell. Now back to Boyven. That's going to be stolen. Bollinger with a circus pass up ahead. Maddox with the flush. And the Dragons down by 4, 54-50. 4 minutes left to play in one of these teams' season. Offensive foul. Offensive foul, or is that a technical foul? One of the two is being whistled here, and judging by the reaction, I think it's on Bell. Oh, they got a foul on Bollinger. Well away from the, wow. So that's Tegan's fourth. He'll check out. LeBron Booker checks back in. 54-50.
You know,
Big moment here.
Clinton's got some fire under him. They've picked up that their defensive pressure, and it's getting to Northview. It is getting to Northview.
Here's DJ Thompson out front, able to get it off to Richard Bell. Cutting down the lane for Stoltz. Up and in, and one.
Timeout?
No, timeout.
Northview.
All right, so 11 points now for Stoltz. And it's 56-50, under 4 to play now. DJ Thompson walking a little heavy. I don't know if that's him being tired or if maybe one of his joints is achy. Either way, we'll have to keep an eye on that. But, nervous times here for the Dragon faithful. By the way, I want to thank again our patrons for tonight's broadcast. Yes. El Indio Mexican Restaurant, David Clary of Oak Ridge fam, Brian Ford seated to our left in the luxurious box seat accommodations, the Clinton High School class of 1985, and last but certainly not least, Deidre Johnson. Thank you all very, very much for allowing us to bring you tonight's action from the Donnie Dome.
Personally, I think it's sad we have to pay for that.
I absolutely 1,000% agree.
I just think that's sad.
Fulton has won their game 70-27 over Scott. And I really hope that the people of Scott, especially their radio crew, enjoyed their time in Knoxville.
The winner of this game will play Fulton.
Yes.
So, big task ahead for whoever wins.
So, Scott season comes to an emphatic end. Here's Carson Richardson for three. Oh, halfway down and out, no good. Richard Bell with the rebound, able to get the pass off to Jalen Stoltz. Stoltz gets away with a travel, it looks like, near midcourt, but it's Aiden Boyven. Controls on the left wing. There's a foul. They're going to get an offensive foul on Stoltz. That's his first, team's second.
I'm not sure. I didn't see that, what he did, but evidently he done something
3.5 to play.
that the official saw, and I'm happy about it.
Booker for Richardson. Skip pass to Lee. Lee drives in the paint. Foul. They're going to say it's on the floor. Really?
He got him on that Euro move before he went up.
I suppose you're right. That's going to be the fourth foul on Boyven, matching his uniform number. He stays in the game. Jeremiah Lee off the inbound. 3:20 left to play.
Free throws are going to play a big key in this fourth quarter, I feel like.
Nice pass inside to Bollinger, back outside. Richardson for three, off the mark, no good. Dooley with the rebound, left it short on the putback attempt. Couldn't get it to go, and there is a foul. Richardson or Dooley? It's going to be Richardson, his first, team's third. 3:02 left to play. 56-50. Richardson checks out. Camden Nelson out there with Bryson Maddox, Tegan Bollinger, LeBron Booker, and Jeremiah Lee, as Jacob Dooley also off the floor right now for Clinton. 56-50. 3:02 left to play. Boyven playing with four fouls near midcourt, behind the back, trying to elude the defender, Camden Nelson. And they're going to call a foul on that. He lost his footing and slipped, and they are going to call a foul on that play. Wow. Dragon fans making their displeasure heard. 2:53 left to go. Here's Richard Bell with it.
A mismatch. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Bell guarded by Nelson out there. Now here's DJ Thompson. That pass stolen away by Maddox, and a foul on Stoltz. 56-50, 2:38 left to play. Richardson and Dooley about to check back in for Clinton. Nelson and Booker will sit down. Next foul will put both teams in the bonus. So it's going to be Lee, Bollinger, Maddox, Dooley, and Richardson. Your five on the floor right now. Richardson, the designated sniper. Bollinger has been rock solid, especially here in this second half. Here is Maddox. Maddox cut off there at the top by Bell. Works it over on the left side. Jeremiah Lee for three. Couldn't get that one to go. Maddox with the rebound and the putback. Maddox with 8 points.
Timeout, Clinton.
56-52, timeout taken by Coach Chris Lockard and the Dragons. What a ball game this has turned out to be. Both teams, I think, started off with maybe some first-round region jitters, but both teams have settled into the task quite nicely. And we've, as a result, had a very entertaining ball game.
Yes, this is what the region play, this is what it's all about. The atmosphere is electrifying. It's a close game, hard-fought game. Clinton's come back and made this a ball game in the last 2 minutes and 17 seconds.
So with 2:17 left, it'll be Northview to inbound. Clinton looks like they're going to extend their defense to the full court here. Not a surprise when you're trying to make up a 4-point deficit with under 2.5 to go. So here we go. Jalen Stoltz looking to get it in, does to DJ Thompson. Thompson guarded in the backcourt by Camden Nelson. They're going to get Nelson with a cheap foul out front. 2 shots coming up for DJ Thompson.
Yep.
So foul on Camden, that's his second. Team's 5th, so 2 shots at the line now for DJ Thompson.
Chris making some offense and defensive substitutions, getting ready to put his offensive players back in. As this guy is at the free throw line. And
DJ Thompson misses the front end. So Dooley and Bollinger check back in. Booker and Carter Nelson will come off the floor. So Dooley, Maddox, Bollinger, Lee, and Richardson hiding out down here by the Dragon bench. Second shot, no good. Rebound collected by Dooley. He's had a really good night tonight for Clinton. Let's see if they can continue their season. 2:05 left. Here is Bollinger. Bollinger for Lee. Back up top to Tegan. He drives into the paint. Loses his dribble, loses the ball. And that should be palming. And that is going to be a travel. They are going to get a travel on Northview. So Blaine Jackson looked like he carried the ball initially, but they're going to say he traveled regardless. And now here comes another substitution for the Dragons as Maddox checks out. Carter Nelson checks in. Under 2 to play, minute 55 left. Here's Nelson for Lee. Back to Nelson. Down low, what a move by Dooley off the glass. 13 points for Dooley. It's 56-54, 2-point game with a $1.45. Woo!
It's funny, I came into practice the other day, and Chris was standing there, and I said, you putting in some new plays for the region tournament? And he said, no, just bringing back some old ones out of my arsenal. And he was talking about Jacob Dooley. He said, Lisa, this guy gets in his own head, and he plays with his emotions, and he lets the referees take him out of the game. He says, you talk to him.
We saw that earlier with the technical.
And so I'm standing there, and and Chris walks off and leaves me with him, right? And so I just looked at him. I said, young man, I've watched you on the court, and they need you on the court. I said, that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
I said, you've got to, there's 3 things you don't let take you out of your game. That's the referees, fans, and yourself.
Yep.
Those 3 things you don't let take you out of your game. And so Jacob Dooley is a key component on this team. If he can keep his head on straight in these last minute 45 seconds, you'll see when they come out on top of this.
So 56-54, Dragons have gotten this down to a 2-point deficit once again. They have gotten this close and no closer on a couple of occasions here in the second half. Oh, wow. Carter Nelson getting all of his money's worth on that foul. Aiden Boyven comes up limping a little bit, but man, oh man, Carter left no doubt about that foul. Chris,
telling him you got to foul early, and he did.
So minute 44 left at the line. Boyven, first shot is good. His first point of the second half. He has 4 for the game. 57-54. Booker checks in. Nelson checks out. Bollinger checks in.
Yes.
And
putting his offensive...
Camden Nelson out. So both of the Nelsons out. 57-54. Second shot, no good. Rebound collected by Booker. Still a 1-possession game with a minute 40 to play. Here is Bollinger. Around the horn for Booker. Back to Bollinger, now to Lee. Lee immediately back to Teagan. Quick reversal, trying to get an open shooter. Here's Booker. Booker splits a couple of defenders outside. Lee for Bollinger, back to LeBron. In the corner, skip pass out high. Minute 19 to go. Here's Lee in the lane. Goes! Timeout by the Dragons. It's down to a 1-point deficit. Minute 14 left.
I don't know how Jeremiah made that. He ran into a brick wall, buddy, and stood strong and still just threw it up and it went in. So kudos to Jeremiah. That's like running into a wall and still being able to shoot.
Yeah. 19 points in the game for Jeremiah Lee. So minute 14 left, 57-56. I certainly hope our patrons feel like they've gotten their money's worth tonight. What an absolute thriller of a ball game we have had for you here this evening from the Don W. Lockard Gymnasium.
That's what I was telling, talking about our girls team last night. Our boys team is the same way. There is no quit in them.
None.
I mean, Chris ain't going to allow it for one, but number 2, that's just the competitive nature of these athletes out on the court tonight.
Absolutely, and I don't think either of our coaches would put up with anybody not playing until that final whistle. 57-56, 74 seconds left to go in regulation time. Jalen Stoltz to inbound. Dragons defense again extended full court. Here's Stoltz looking to key it in. Gets it into Bell. Bell, quick trap, ball kicked out of bounds. Braylon Hayden. It'll stay with Northview. 2 seconds go off the clock. Minute 12 to play, 57-56.
Not understanding Northview's, they got their big post players coming down to bring the ball up the court.
Bell has proven to be a little deceptive with the ball handling abilities, so I don't necessarily question that. Here is DJ Thompson. Dragons need to think about a foul here soon. There's a long pass cross court for Aiden Boyven. Under a minute to play now, 52 seconds and counting. Here is Boyven stepping through a couple of defenders, and Hayden has to literally reach out and grab DJ Thompson to draw that foul. His first, teams, it doesn't matter what number, I think it's number 6 actually in the quarter. It's going to be 2 shots either way at the line for DJ Thompson. He has 3 points in the game.
Chris getting ready to sub his 3-point shooters, putting them in.
First shot, no good. It'll remain, no matter what, a 1 or 2 point game. Dragons definitely need, tell you what, still like to see a little bit of size down here on the free throw line for a rebound opportunity, although Clinton now outnumbers the Cougars 4-2 on that end. So disregard my previous comment.
Yeah.
57-56. Second shot, no good. Rebound comes off to Carter Nelson. Up ahead for Jeremiah Lee. Dragons setting up the half-court offense. 37 seconds left.
Will Chris work for the last second shot?
I believe he has 1 timeout remaining. It is a full timeout. Under 30 to play. Here's Nelson. Nelson back to Lee. Thought about the 3. Now drives inside off the window. With 21 points. And he is down. He is down.
And he's fouled
His 5th.
on the play.
And he's halfway up.
Yes.
58-57. So Jeremiah Lee.
Yeah, number 4. They called that on number 4, so that makes his 5th foul.
That is going to be a foul on Aiden Boyven. He is done. The trainer is down there, I believe, yelling at one of the officials. I believe she is very concerned about Jeremiah. She might be questioning why there's not an intentional foul, maybe? I'm not sure.
Not an intentional foul.
No, but the trainer, I've never seen a trainer come out on the floor and confront an official like that. I think she's talking maybe, I don't know what's going on down there, but the trainer is displeased with something on the floor in this game. So Jeremiah going to be at the free throw line to shoot 1.
Jeremiah has to come out because
he does have to come out.
the coach and trainer went out on the floor, or the trainer did.
So Caden Eisen, hey, not a bad trade-off. Obviously, Jeremiah is a great free throw shooter. Caden, not too shabby himself. Let's see what he can do here. Opportunity to make this a 2-point game, and he does. Caden Eisen makes it 59-57 with 20.6 seconds remaining. I'm anticipating that people will be standing up. I think Coach Lockhart has now told the trainer that she needs to stop talking to the officials.
Yeah, he's got a lead. We don't need any technicals because
59-57, 20 seconds to play. Northview with an opportunity to win or tie. Timeout taken by the Cougars with 14.3 seconds on the clock.
Still a lot of time.
59-57. Dragons with their first lead since it was 3-0. Anderson County, by the way, has defeated Seymour tonight 85-68. So the boys region tournament will continue next week at AC. Clinton hoping to be part of that party. 59-57, 14.3 seconds left to go. I've already started standing on the chair in anticipation of all the people in front of me standing up shortly.
Now, what Chris is telling them now is you've got to defend a 3. A 3 will win it. So you cannot give up a 3-point play.
Nope.
And you don't want to foul in a 3. You don't want to foul and get them to the line on an and 1. So, you got to watch the big guy inside. Deny him the ball. Don't let him get it for sure. Force them to shoot an unwanted shot.
Yeah.
And that's what Chris is telling his team right now. Keep playing that defense that they have been. No fouls, no fouls, no fouls.
All right, so the 5 on the floor for Clinton to try and close this out will be Nelson, Dooley, Bollinger, Lee, and Maddox. Here's Stoltz to inbound, gets it into Thompson. 13 seconds left, 59-57. Thompson inside to Bell, off the window and in. Richard Bell lays it. And a Northview timeout. So 59-59 with 6 seconds to play. The Dragons will have an opportunity to win it in regulation, or we are headed to overtime.
Yeah.
59-59. 6 seconds to play. My goodness. 21 points for Jeremiah Lee.
We've got Union County beating Carter in tonight's boys matchup. So we've got a team from our district, 2 teams from our region actually, has already put some teams from the other region out.
Richard Bell, by the way, has, by my count, 15 points in the second half. Richard Bell with 20 now for Northview, including the game-tying basket just moments ago.
Yeah.
So the Dragons...
Yeah, with Union beating Carter, that'll have them facing AC next week.
So it's going to be Lee, Bollinger, Carter Nelson, Jacob Dooley down here, and Bryson Maddox. 6 seconds to play.
6 seconds is plenty of time to get the ball down the court and get that last second shot. Come on.
No trickery. Here's Maddox. 5 seconds. Maddox drives, lays it up, and it... Oh, it rolls off the rim! They got exactly what they wanted, the Dragons did, but it rolls off the rim! Oh, my goodness!
That could only happen to us.
Oh. Coach Lockhart has the same thought out there. That was it. The Dragons had this game won right there. It just rolled off the rim. So we get some extra basketball.
So it gives us a 4-minute overtime. 59-59.
Whew. Are you not entertained? Hope everybody out there is having as much fun watching this as we are bringing it to you. What a battle this has been. Great ball game between 2 really good basketball teams. Clearly both these teams well coached. So we're going to jump it up. Two timeouts for each side now. 59-59. One team season will end here tonight. The other one will get to continue marching on. Aiden Boyven looks like he is heading down to the Clinton bench to get some treatment down there. Not sure, maybe headed to the locker room. Either way, he's going to get a little medical assistance. So no Aiden Boyven for Northview to begin this overtime. It will be Dooley and Blaine Jackson to tip it off for the second time tonight. And the opening tip controlled by Clinton and tracked down in the backcourt by Tegan Bollinger.
Good hustle by Tegan.
Yeah, it was almost too emphatic of a tip-off win for Jacob Dooley. So here we go. Tied up at 59 apiece. 3:47 left to play. Jeremiah Lee with 23 points in the game. 16 since halftime, and it's 61-59.
I feel like Clinton is playing a more aggressive defense, and Northview's playing kind of a passive one. So
Northview enjoyed a pretty, I'd say about a 7 to 9 point lead for a good chunk of this game, but Clinton in the final 2 quarters has fought back, and there's a great job there by Jeremiah Lee taking the charge. DJ Thompson whistled for his 3rd personal, and it's going to turn the ball back over to Clinton.
Offensive foul, so there's no free throw right there, but I will tell you this, Jeremiah is really good acting.
I have long said if that young man is not in the theater department, somebody is dropping the ball.
But that's good. How many charges? How many charges?
So Jacob Dooley has clearly seen how much fun Coach Lockhart has had with the squeegee, and now he got to do it. So hats off to him. So here's LeBron Booker, Tegan Bollinger, Carter Nelson, Jeremiah Lee, and Bryson Maddox. Your 5 on the floor with 3:19 to play in overtime. 61-59, Clinton with a 2-point lead here at home. Jeremiah Lee across the way for Carter Nelson.
Yeah.
Nelson.
Take your time, protect the ball, work for the good shot, work for the easy shot, or to draw the foul. Both teams in the bonus, so.
Yep, both teams are in the bonus, so both teams will be shooting 2 every time they are fouled. Right now, a little game of keep away in the backcourt, and I've seen Coach Lockhart do this in overtime numerous times in the postseason. Just a little game of keep away right now. Nelson back across the way, lobbing it back and forth. This reminds me of a game we were playing with the middle school gym class I was subbing for a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, a lot of times in overtime, whoever scores first definitely has the advantage because you got the clock going in your favor.
Nelson
Back
with
out.
the drive. Too many people in the way, but I'll tell you what, Clinton gets bailed out with a call right there.
Got lucky on that one.
Oh, incredibly lucky because Nelson turned the corner and ran smack dab into Jeremiah Lee. Lucky for us, he also ran in to Blaine Jackson.
Number 24.
His second.
Free throws are going to be key here in this overtime.
First one, no good.
Got to have these right now. Got to have these. These are crucial.
Nelson with 1
Take
point
your
in the
time,
game.
Carter, take your time.
1 out of 3 at the stripe tonight. 2:20 to play overtime. Still a 2-point game.
Uncharacteristic for him. He's usually. There you go, buddy.
Second one's good. Both of his points tonight coming from the stripe and coming after halftime. 3-point lead equaling Clinton's largest, which came at 3-0. 2:20 left to play here in overtime. And here comes Peyton White. Dragon fans making use of the bleachers, so I'm making use of the chair. Here is Thompson for 3 in the tie. No good. Rebound, Jeremiah Lee. Lee comes off the glass with it.
Come on, boys.
2 minutes to play. 62-59. Lee goes behind the back, crosses the timeline, and now he'll work against Jackson. Timeout taken by the Dragons. Minute 52 to play. 62-59. So Dragons leading by 3. Crowd really into it. They have been all night long. Terrific crowd on the home side. And hats off to the people from Northview that made the trip from Kodak. It's been a 45-minute drive, I'd say, but on a cold night in February, it's not necessarily the most fun drive, but man, they made the trip. And I'll tell you what, both teams have put on a magnificent performance here tonight in this region quarterfinal game.
This is what, instead of March Madness, it'd be February Madness still.
February Frenzy, how about that?
February Frenzy.
Or fervor. I'm a huge fan of alliteration, so don't get me started. Minute 52 left to play. Dragons used every available second of that 60-second timeout. Northview did not use anywhere near that much of it. So Camden Nelson, Lee, Maddox, Bollinger, and Booker, your 5 on the floor for the orange and black. They've got the ball. Maddox will lob it into the backcourt for Jeremiah Lee. Lee, trap comes. Lee gets it up ahead to Bollinger. Bollinger, again, trying to milk some clock, gets it back to Camden Nelson, who gets it back into Bollinger's hands. Here's Teagan with it, guarded by Peyton White. Bollinger, 96 seconds left to play, hands it off up top to Camden Nelson. And there is a foul given by Stoltz. That is his third.
Number 35, Stoltz, his third.
Camden Nelson will be at the free throw line looking for his first points of the night.
Yes, and Camden is one, he's not in the position he was in the other night. But he's in a good position here to give his team a bigger lead right here, and he
halfway down and out.
got robbed.
Still can make it a two-possession game if he can knock down this second free throw. 62-59, 92 seconds left in one of these team seasons. Or this overtime.
What I love about Camden is his defense, man. His defense is
Second one also no good. There's Richard Bell with a rebound inside. It leaves it a one-possession game. 62-59. Bell brings it the length of the court, gets it outside. Ben Pickle for three, no good. He grabs his own rebound. Dragons need to do a better job on that end of the floor, and that ball thrown away. It'll belong to the Dragons.
Yes,
with 75 seconds left. 62-59.
Chris getting his ball handlers in.
Jeremiah Lee and Blaine Jackson down there giving each other a hug. That was nice. Nice moment between new friends.
And his best free throw shooters in the game.
So here is Booker now in the backcourt. He gives a screen to Bollinger, and that's going to be a foul in the backcourt. Peyton White, I don't think, wanted that foul. That'll be his second, and it'll be Bollinger at the line trying to extend this to a two-possession lead. 62-59. Bollinger.
Fouled the wrong one right there, I'm telling you.
7 points for Bollinger, all in the second half.
He's money at the free throw line, and he is very poised.
Booker sits down and Dooley checks in. Bollinger at the free throw line.
Money.
Knocks it down. 8 points for Bollinger, and the Dragon lead is 5, their largest of the game. 68 seconds left to play. Here's DJ Thompson with it into the front court for Northview. Thompson to Jackson on the wing. Down low for Richard Bell. In the paint, off the glass, and in. 22 points now for Bell, and a timeout by Northview. 64-61, 3-point lead.
Full timeout, Northview.
64-61. What a fun game this has been. So each team has one timeout remaining here in this overtime period.
This is what postseason play is all about. So Chris is telling these guys right here, you know, you've got to protect the basketball.
Absolutely. 64-61, 54.8 seconds left. Dragons 11-15 on the year. Northview 16-13. .8. Clinton Ball, Carter Nelson, Tegan Bollinger, Jeremiah Lee, LeBron Booker, and Bryson Maddox, your 5 on the floor right now for the Orange and Black. Trying to close this out and move on to yet another region semifinal. Long pass to Jeremiah Lee, does a good job to settle his feet, and he's fouled immediately. That's going to be Blaine Jackson. Jason Hammock anticipating the call nicely.
I think that's his 5th.
Let's see, 24 Jackson, that's his 3rd, yeah.
3rd, okay.
Aiden Boyven has fouled out for Northview. Clinton, only with Bollinger near fouling out, he has 4. Shot by Lee is up and good.
Money right there.
Jeremiah.
I tell you, in this overtime, those free throws are critical.
So 2-score game with under a minute to play. Second shot, good. 5-point lead, 66-61. DJ Thompson will bring it into the front court for the Cougars. Gives it up to Pickle inside. Bell, left side, lays it up off the glass and in. He's got 24 points. Final timeout taken by Northview at 66-63, 39 seconds left.
Full timeout.
And Northview now out of timeouts.
Timeout, Northview Academy. Full timeout.
66-63. What an absolute thriller we have had here tonight. Game's had a little bit of everything. Great offensive spurts, some great defense at times. Tremendous ball game.
Yes.
And the Dragons right now looking to close it out. This would be a gritty, hard-fought win.
And honestly, this game's going to end up, the way it's supposed to, because we should have won that in regulation.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
It's going to end up the way it's supposed to.
The basketball gods will smile favorably upon us. So 39.1 seconds left, 66-63. Both teams in the bonus. Northview, no more timeouts. One timeout for Clinton. That's it.
I don't know why the hardest shot in basketball sometimes is a layup.
Absolutely, yeah.
Layup.
And that's why sports psychologists exist.
Yes, yes.
39 seconds, 66-63. Carter Nelson to inbound with Lee, Maddox, Bollinger. Here's Lee getting it quickly and getting fouled quickly. Let's see, is that going to be Jackson? If so, it's his fourth. Yep.
All right, guys, let's run some time off this clock now. I'm a component of getting the game done when you're ahead.
Yeah, 66-63.
I'm for that.
Jeremiah Lee at the free throw line. First one short. So it stays a one-possession game, 37.6 seconds.
Don't catch and hold, catch and go.
Here's
Lee.
Lee.
Layup down there. Catch and go.
Booker back into the game.
It's like get and go, you know what I mean?
As is Camden Nelson. Second foul shot is good. It's a two-score game once again, 67-63. Here is Jackson. Up ahead for Bell. Bell working against Booker. Bell in the lane. He'll be fouled on the way up with 31.8 seconds left to go.
Good foul right there.
Booker's third. 2 shots at the line for Bell.
His third.
Good foul. That's better than, if you're going to foul them, make sure they don't make it.
Yep.
So they don't get an and one.
So here is Bell at the free throw line. He's perfect there tonight, and he remains so. 25 for him, 20 after halftime. He missed most of the second quarter in foul trouble.
Still plenty of time on the clock. Still plenty of time on the clock. That's why I'm a component of running that clock down.
Bell's second shot, good. Ice water in that senior's veins, and he makes it a 2-point game, 67-65. Ball in the hands of Bollinger and Lee. Got to get it into the front court. There's a foul given. Peyton White. Nope. Timeout.
Timeout by Chris.
Dragons got their final timeout called before the 10-second call could even be a possibility, really.
Yeah. Smart timeout right there.
So 23.2 seconds left. Ball be inbounded at about three-quarter court.
They're killing me, Jim. They're killing me. I'm getting too old for this.
67-65, aren't we all?
Get this game over, boys. Come on. This is when those little details, like meeting every pass, protecting the ball, being smart mentally here.
Big boys going to Columbia University to play football.
Oh, okay. Richard Bell is going to Columbia University to play football. I think I remember actually reading that somewhere now that Brian says it. But tell you what,
Athlete.
he's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I'm glad we both pegged him as a football player. So 67-65.
So the winner of this game will play Fulton at Fulton. No.
At Anderson County.
At Anderson County, because it's on our side. Yes, because Anderson County won. If they had lost, then it would have been here the higher seed. Yes.
So here's Carter Nelson to inbound. He will get it into Tegan Bollinger in the front court, and he's immediately wrapped up by Jackson. That will do it for Blaine Jackson.
And that's who you want to get the ball to right there, Tegan Bollinger.
Bollinger or Lee in this situation, I feel uber confident in.
Yes.
So 67-65, 22.1 seconds left. Bollinger rattles the first one home. He has 9 points all after halftime. Camden Nelson checks back into the game.
He makes this, it's a 2-possession ball game.
Second one rattles its way home as well. 10 points for Tegan Bollinger, and it's back up to a 4-point advantage. With the ball, Peyton White. White lobs it down low for Bell. Bell steps through, puts up the shot, in. No foul called. He wanted it.
Get rid of
And
it.
that's a foul on Bryson Maddox. Ben Pickle will be the guilty party there, and Bryson Maddox will be at the other end of the court trying to make this back into a 3 or 4-point game. 69-67, 7.3 seconds remain. Lisa and Matt, I believe I'm worried about your health. I'm about to go flag down a paramedic.
I'm all for having confidence in your free throw shooting, but let's get this game over.
Maddox's first one is up and good. He has 9 points now.
One more, buddy, one more. Come on, Maddox.
7.3 seconds remain. Maddox rattles it home. 10 points for Bryson, 71-67. White for Pickle. With 2.7 seconds left. Just rejected by Bryson Maddox.
Foul.
2.8 seconds left to play.
Right here, don't foul, let him shoot, let him shoot, let him
Shot
shoot.
by White is up and good, but that just dresses up the box score. The Clinton Dragons rally in impressive fashion for a 71-70 win over the Northview Academy Cougars. The Northview played that entire overtime without their point guard, with one of their 2-point guards, Aiden Boyven, one of their primary ball handlers, I should say. He's still got ice on that left elbow, so looks like he'll have time to heal that injury, but a tough way for the Northview season to end as they fall 71-70 in overtime in a game that they led the vast majority of.
Yes.
Tremendous contest here at Clinton.
Great comeback by Clinton. They wanted to make a statement in the first round of this region after it felt like the district got stolen from them. What a great win for them. Great momentum builder going into the second round of this tournament. They will play Fulton at AC
Tuesday, I believe.
I think the second game. No. They'll play, because AC's first, they'll play the second game and we'll have the first game. Yes.
Yeah, pardon me, I'm doing some math over here as everybody in this building super happy, wearing orange and black anyway.
Yes.
On your way out, hit the concession stand. Every leg is half off.
26 points tonight for Jeremiah Lee.
That's awesome.
I'm totaling up these numbers here. There's some impressive performances tonight by the Dragons. We'll start off, though. We'll take a look at the numbers for Northview. Richard Bell was absolutely spectacular. And I'm telling you, if the Columbia basketball coach doesn't at least sniff around it a little bit, he should be fired immediately. Yeah. Richard Bell had 23 points in the second half and overtime. Finished up the game with 28 points. A tremendous performance by the senior as his career at Northview comes to an end here in Clinton. He was the only double-figure scorer tonight for Northview, but when you've got a weapon like that, why wouldn't you try to utilize that as much as possible? Blaine Jackson, I'm sorry, they did have one double-figure scorer in addition to Mr. Bell, and that was Jalen Stoltz. He had 11 points in the game. He was rock solid. He's just a sophomore. With 8 points, it was Blaine Jackson. 7 points, Hunter Kinsey. 7 points as well for Peyton White, including that three-pointer at the buzzer that made it 71-70. Aiden Boyven matched his uniform number with 4 points, DJ Thompson with 3, and Ben Pickle with 2. Meanwhile, well for the victorious and now 12-16 Clinton Dragons. They were led by Jeremiah Lee, who put on an absolutely sublime performance here tonight. 19 points after halftime, 26 points for the game. Jeremiah Lee with some big free throws down the stretch, and I think we talked about it before the game, one of the reasons that Clinton was able to come out of here with a win. His leadership, I thought, was absolutely spectacular, led by example, and again put in 26 points tonight to lead four double-digit scores.
He's been wonderful, just taking shots when he was open, not trying to take it all on his shoulders and make things happen that ain't there. He did really good tonight. Like
we talked about too, he looked for the smart and not the spectacular. Right. And I think that is how you can see, I think, the evolution of a point guard when they stop trying, because they've always been great ball handlers, great passers. When they realize they don't have to be super flashy all the time, they're still going to get the job done. And I think that's a page that Jeremiah has turned at some point during this season. I'd say second half of the season, he really started to warm to that role even more. So 26 points for Jeremiah Lee. Tremendous job tonight from him. Jacob Dooley, I cannot say enough good things about Jacob Dooley's performance tonight. He kept Clinton in the game in the early going with his play inside. Had one little hiccup there where he let his emotions get the best of him, but bounced back super well and finished the game with 13 points. Again, one of four double-figure scores tonight for Clinton. Bryson Maddox, another one of those double-digit scores. He had 10 points, 8 of them after halftime.
2 dunks.
Yeah, 2 fantastic dunks that really got the crowd going and, more importantly, got his team fired up and motivated. They saw that dunk go down, the first one, and that really seemed to revitalize the team. The second one did the same thing as well, quite frankly, as both of them started some big rallies for the Dragons. Tegan Bollinger, again, second half, dynamite. 10 points all after halftime.
Hit key free throws.
Played, I think, the vast majority of that fourth quarter and the entirety of overtime with 4 fouls.
Yes, smart.
And did a tremendous job avoiding picking up that 5th and disqualifying foul. So 10 points for Bollinger. LeBron Booker, 7 points. Did most of his damage in the first half, but LeBron, fantastic job tonight on both ends of the floor. Caden Eisen had 3 points in the game. Carter Nelson had 2 points in the game. Camden Nelson played but did not score. Same can be said for Carson Richardson and Braylon Hayden. Meanwhile, for Northview, everybody that played actually scored. So there you go. What I do find interesting, and I've never seen this happen before in a game I've called, there are 2 children, I believe, of the coach on this team. We didn't see either one of them in the game tonight. I don't know if I've ever actually seen, and I'm certainly not accusing other coaches of nepotism, but I'm just saying it's odd when the coach's kid doesn't get in. So obviously Northview has a little bit of talent, and certainly wish them safe travels on their way back home. But this is the end of the road for their postseason, and the Dragons
from here on out.
Yep, Dragons will move on into the semifinals. And, of course, that's an elimination game. Get to that region championship, and you do get, that obviously that second gasp at life. But, man, what a fun game. We do not know if we will be allowed to or able to raise the funding for broadcasting any of the region games. We will let you know as soon as we know anything, and if we need your help, we will ask, and we will be certainly super grateful. And I don't know if we can promise him the same kind of skybox accommodations that he had here tonight at the Donnie Dome, but we'll certainly do our best. Speaking of that, again, I want to thank El Indio Mexican Restaurant, Oak Ridge broadcaster David Clary, Brian Ford, the Clinton High School class of 1985, and Deidre Johnson for helping us get on the air tonight to bring you a scintillating matchup. Ended up 71-70. The Clinton Dragons improved to 12-15 on the year. More importantly, they keep their season alive as they head to the region semifinals. So, like I said, I hope we get to do this again next week. But if not, Lisa, this has been so much fun with you this season.
I've had fun.
Yeah, I have had so much fun. And like I said, you've made me much smarter about basketball, and I think you've made our viewers a little bit more educated about why some things happen. And when we need explanations, you've been able to provide some fantastic analysis. And I hope we get to do this again next year.
Yeah, I've had fun. Thank you.
All right. We're waiting on Coach Lockhart. He's down there dealing with his other media obligation. Used to be me on that other end of the media obligation. We'll take a quick audio break. You guys enjoy everybody milling about the court, and we'll be right back with Coach Lockhart here in just a few moments on DragonVision. And while we wait on Coach Lockhart, again, I want to pass on our congratulations here on DragonVision to Damian Lavelle, winning the state wrestling tournament at 165 pounds. First state wrestling title in Clinton High School history. So certainly a fantastic night all around, whether you're a fan of wrestling or you are a fan of basketball. Good night to be a Clinton Dragon. Some other scores from around the area, as we talked about earlier. Fulton dispatched Scott 70-27. Anderson County blew out Seymour as well, 85-68, and it was Union County beating Carter. So it's Union County against Anderson County, Clinton against Fulton. Clinton and Fulton were on track to possibly meet in the state semifinals back in the end of the state tournament run there, but Clinton, of course, knocked off by Jackson Southside in the first round of the state tournament a couple of years ago down in Murfreesboro. So, again, another quick audio break. Enjoy the milling about and a look at some of Anderson County's finest down there, the school resource officers in full gear because of those dangerous basketball fans. We'll be right back with Coach Lockhart here in just a few moments. Hey, welcome back, everybody. About to be joined by Dragon head coach Chris Lockard. Hey, Chris, I thought we talked about boat racing, leaving no doubt, making sure that, there was no, but, okay, 1 point game, that's totally not what we talked about. But, man, what a great effort. Congratulations, first of all. You came up here and I made a joke, but that's what we do. But what a great win. You guys trailed the majority of the game by between 7 to 9 points, it seemed like. They got out to a few big leads. Second half, you guys get it back to within 2 on multiple occasions. Finally got over the hump. Just talk about this performance. A magnificent way to get onto the region semifinals.
It was, and they're a good team, and they're very well coached, and they do a lot
Richard
of good
Bell
things.
is like 40. I mean, that dude is a man among
He's
boys.
a monster in the paint.
And he's going to go play football at Columbia.
Yeah, he's something else. He's a great athlete. He's a good kid, too. He's so polite down there and humble at the end of the game. And, I think their zone posed us some problems, and then we finally dissected it, but we weren't scoring consistent. I didn't like our transition tonight. We didn't get out and run like before.
That was one thing you and I talked about before the game being important, but in the early going, that seemed to be more of an issue. You guys made the adjustment there, right?
Well, and I think that was Bryson Maddox. I mean, like I said a minute ago over on the radio, I said, Bryson's a freak now. He is something else athletically.
That block down here to wipe out all hope.
Well, the 2 steals and the finish with the dunk.
The 2 dunks I thought were also critical because that not only fired up the crowd, but it obviously energized
and
the
it cut
team.
that lead where we needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what we had drawn up there in the last part of the game was obviously I was trying to get Jeremiah loose, and I had Bryson as the fire guy, as we call him, and when he came up and turned, I had one timeout in my pocket. And I was going to call timeout at the half line.
Yeah.
I saw Bryson with it, and it was like he took one bounce, one dribble, and he was gone.
It was ridiculous.
And so I just let him ride it out, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, it rolled around the entire rim. And just
Nobody
fell off.
could believe it.
And if it, I thought it was over then. And I'll be honest, I was a little worried in the overtime because I felt like if they got a chance to take the lead and got in that zone, it might slow us down again. But luckily, we were able to sort of attack first and score, and then we were able to sort of dictate and make them come and guard us. And, I thought we did a good job late on our defensive stuff. LeBron Booker is the one that he said, Coach, let me take him on that last trip, the big boy. And, he fouled him, but it was the right play.
He didn't let the lay in, and there was no 3-point play.
No, exactly, and that's what we had to stay away from. I was, Teagan, the boys did a good job on the foul line and did a good job keeping their composure late.
Teagan was fantastic in the second half. I mean, scoreless in the first half, did all of his damage after halftime. That little floater in the lane down here in the fourth quarter was a thing of beauty. He had a couple of really nice shots. I thought in the first half of the game, Jacob Dooley, his performance tonight, I thought in the first half kept you guys in that game when it looked like Northview was going to maybe have a chance to run away and hide, but he was making some big plays. He was hitting the offensive glass really hard, and I thought his effort tonight was absolutely magnificent. Obviously let his emotions get the best of him one time, but something he's going to learn from, but whatever lesson he learned it quick because it didn't happen again.
Yeah, he did. Well, and I mean, it's frustrating. He's down there battling 2 big guys down there. They're strong.
Yeah.
They're walking under him, and he can't get clean looks. And every rebound, he's having to hold somebody off and still try to go get it. And he gave me all he had. He got tired for a little bit, and I had to rest him. But man, I tell you, he was getting up and down the floor and rebounding. And I thought LeBron came in and did the same thing and helped him there on that.
I always think of LeBron more as a scorer than anything else, but he's so good on both ends of the floor.
He is, and that's why I went with him. And now I tell you, one that we didn't mention and most people probably didn't see was Caden. Caden Eisen came in the second quarter and got 45 rattled. And I mean, he was guarding and we call it engaging. He was engaging him early and sort of, bumping him off his line, and you could tell it got him a little bit irritated. And then we were able to sort of keep it where we were at, and they weren't able to stretch the lead. And that bought us enough time to get what we needed to do settled and let the boys loose. And, boy, once we let them loose, the energy just changed. And I felt like, we were in much better position.
And it seems like that's where Jeremiah thrives, because he had 26 points tonight, 19 after halftime. And like you said, once you guys started to run a little bit more, he was certainly more of a focal point, hit some big free throws down the stretch. Clearly one of the best ball handlers we've ever had at this school. Just talk about his maturation, because as I was talking with Coach Watson while we were up here, you know, he has made that transition from always looking for the spectacular pass and making the smart pass, realizing that the results are going to be the same either way, with a whole lot less risk with the smart pass.
Yeah.
And it seems like at some point this season he kind of turned that page, and we're seeing way fewer of those no-look, shoulda-looks.
Yeah.
That's what I call them at this point. But he's done a much better job of settling in, playing within himself.
Well, and that's it, you know, playing within yourself and playing within what the team needs you to do. You know, and a lot of times he's the guy that we need to score. And that's what I told him coming out of halftime. I said, you're going to have to get more touches to score. You need to attack these two gaps. And once he started doing that, then all of a sudden, here he comes. And but, you know, I think where he's matured is he's figured out, you know what, if this isn't AAU, this is a more of a controlled setting, and if he'll play inside that and buy into that, we win a lot more.
Yeah.
You know, and it has to be, you have to be willing to share things. You have to be willing to play both ends, and it can't just be about scoring baskets. And when he started thinking about defense and moving the ball and assists, all of a sudden he's scoring easier.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how that works. And when that starts happening, kids, you see them, you know, start getting better. You know, it's just like with Tegan late in the ball game. You know, I yelled at him a couple of times. I'm like, when you get it in your hands, son, I don't want it going anywhere else. You're like a 90% free throw shooter. He's like, but Coach, I was trying to run the clock. I was like, I don't care about the clock. I want the ball in your hands. You know, and Tegan knows and gets it. But I thought the boys did a really good job there. Inbounds passes. I thought we did a good job following what I wanted them to do. So, you know, that's pleasing.
Yeah.
Because you can see your team growing and continue to grow even though we're in the postseason.
And like I said, too, I mean, you as a coach and as a staff have stayed on brand this year. You know, there were some hiccups there at the beginning of the season, but as the season dragged on, the team continued to improve to the point where now, once again, we find ourselves back in the region tournament semifinals.
I know, and, you know, and it's hard to imagine, but we're still a pretty young team.
Yeah.
You know, just because we've seen Tegan and Jeremiah the last couple of years, you know, they're both just juniors. And you got Bryson and Braylon are sophomores. And, you know, so we're still a young team. And so there's times that hurts us. But tournament time is what I've always lived for. That's, you know, I love winning ball games, but I love seeing my team grow and the growth from the team and see kids buy into what you're doing. And, you know, there's certain years that you have to come out of the gates and you're looking to win every quarter, win every game. And then you have to be realistic some years and go, okay, we might win one quarter of this game, and next one let's win two.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes a little while to get there because I made some major adjustments from how we played last year, and I think that we're now seeing the fruits of that because it's starting to pay off, and we're scoring better, and obviously defensively we're better. You know, so I spent a lot of time over Christmas watching some film from last year and going through all my notes and seeing where I made my changes and when we started making our, you know, progression. And then I was able to take those notes and those games and sort of build on that for this season after the break. And so hopefully I can get them to where we want so that next year let's come out of the gates and, you know, let's go get them all. So that's going to be – that's sort of the plan. You know, don't always work, but, you know, that's the plan. But, yeah, right now, region semifinals, again, you know, we've played in 5 straight district tournament champion games. You know, 2 in the old league and the first 3 in this league, or all 3 in this league. So, you know, that's something, you know, even Dad and I, when we were coaching together, we made it to 4 finals.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty big accomplishment, especially in that old league. But, you know, this league has turned out to be, I mean, Union County AC's, they're as good as anybody we've seen this year.
Yeah.
Union County is, and then you got Scott, and they'll beat you on any night.
Yep. Unless you're Fulton. They lost by 37 tonight. 47, I'm sorry.
Well, Fulton's good, man. They're, they might be able to win any of the classifications.
Yeah.
They're good. And we know that, and that's okay. But, we got to go out and lay it on the line and lace them up and get after it. And, that's why we do it.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say this, even though I know you're probably going to ignore my advice. I'm going to say enjoy this one, and then obviously you start getting ready for the next one. But I know you're going to skip step one and just start getting ready for the next one.
Yeah.
So
I'm going home right now and get started.
All right, well, Chris, fantastic game. Like I said, it's just been a joy to watch this team all season long because you just knew that this was going to be the payoff, and it's been a lot of fun. So hopefully we will be able to see you in action at the region tournament on Tuesday night. So
we'll have to pay for that one again, right?
Yep.
I've got a couple of people that have said they want to make sure we stream it. My mom was so excited you were going to be back on, so she might cut the check for you. And I know my sister was watching tonight. She texted me before the game. She said, I'm going to stay up and watch it in the bed. So she's probably asleep now. But
ooh, does that mean I can actually say I'm big in the Netherlands?
Yes, you're big in the Netherlands.
Sweet.
She showed games to her whole company over there sometimes, so it's funny. Anyway, it's been great. We'll just say this. We'll find a way to get you guys there Tuesday, regardless. So let's plan on it so that our faithful that can't make the trip, they can make sure they get a chance to watch the game. I mean, one of our former players, which you all don't remember, but he played back when I did, Chris Dean, he watches all of our games.
Nice.
He texts me at night. Well, I'll get a text from him in a minute, and we'll basketball it back and forth. And Brett McGee, a lot of the guys I play with. So this is a great thing because a lot of people can't get here.
Yeah.
And so it really helps, and it gets the boys out there, and it keeps people that are from Clinton still in Clinton, and that's what this is all about. So I'm going to enjoy this from here till I get down to my office. I'm going to grab my bag and go home and get to work.
Okay, well, at least take a leisurely stroll to your office. Don't, speed walk like I always do. Just, take a leisurely stroll, soak it in, and we'll see you Tuesday night over at Anderson County.
It sounds great. Appreciate you, Jim.
Coach Chris Lockhart of the Clinton Dragons winning tonight 71-70 to move on to the region semifinals. They will take on the highly touted Fulton Falcons, and it sounds like we will have all the action for you right here on DragonVision. Stay tuned to our social media for all the details. In the meantime, our thanks to Lisa Watson. Also, our thanks to Coach Alicia Doherty stopping by during halftime, talking about her Lady Dragons and the very bright future for the Clinton ladies. Also want to congratulate Damian Lavelle for winning the state wrestling title at 165 pounds, the first state wrestling champion in Clinton high school history. So until next time, for everybody here at DragonVision, including Matt Hagen, this is Jim Harris saying good night.